welcome to another edition of Diaspora Network, the show that celebrates Nigerians who are excelling in the diaspora in different fields. I'm Ijoma Onyato. On the show today, we delve into the world of the tech revolution and the role the diaspora plays in the rapidly growing industry. We tell the fascinating stories of Nigerians whose roles in tech are making a huge impact on the world stage. And of course, our chat with Dr. Adeshola Cole, CEO of TriTech Consulting Limited, a multi-award-winning IT company helping individuals secure choice roles in the diaspora and back home in Nigeria. There's a lot to show you in the next 30 minutes, but let's take a quick look at what's in the news this week.
The Nigerian federal government has officially launched an enhanced e-passport centre in Ottawa, Canada. The Minister of Interior, Honourable Rauf Adeshola, announced that Nigerians living in the country will now have access to a 64-page 10-year passport, and that Nigeria is among the first 5 countries to roll out these passports, as well as the first in Africa. The National Identity Management Commission previously said that through digitisation, it would eliminate any form of contact between passport applicants and immigration officers, as well as reduce any corruption in the system. The first of its kind in this latest technology in identity documentation, the new enhanced e-passport comes with 25 additional security features, which will deter identity theft and make it impossible to counterfeit. The NIS Controller General pledged that the service would tackle delays in processing passports, provided applications abide strictly with laid down guidelines. The United Kingdom is considering a cap on the number of Nigerian student immigrants entering the nation. This comes following a backlash on the record high of 1.1 million immigrants coming from overseas and the number of students who are bringing family members with them. One report states that 34,000 Nigerians had been issued visas in the past 12 months, who were accompanied by 32,000 dependents. And with the Jaqua movement taking a hold on the country, this number is likely to increase. According to sources, foreign students may be barred from coming unless they are accepted into a top university. And Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has stated that the government will do checks concerning students' dependents, as well as the admission of students who are studying low-quality degrees.
At the end of the day, these are people who have come into the UK legally, have applied for their family members to come and join them quite legally, and we're a large nation, one of the biggest nations in the world. So we're going to represent in large numbers in any statistical compilation that you formulate, We appreciate the fact that Nigeria does then, in response, suffer from brain drain. A lot of graduates leaving Nigeria, looking for greener pastures elsewhere. But there are opportunities in Nigeria, first of all. There's the digital economy. Lots of people should realize there are opportunities and jobs they can engage in online. They don't have to leave Nigeria.
The up-and-coming Welsh-Nigerian singer Kima Otung has been chosen to showcase her music on behalf of the UK's Great Campaign at this year's World Cup. The artist's 3 singles, I'm Cute, Nunu and Go Crazy, are being exhibited in an interactive installation at the Garden of Great in Doha, which was made to celebrate UK creativity and diversity, and the songs will play as visitors walk around the garden on touch-activated stepping stones. Kima, who is from a small town in the south of Wales, says that she is very proud to be propelled onto the global stage, and she represents 2 different nations. She says that she previously had doubts that her music could be used in a meaningful way. However, despite her small following, her catchy pop and R&B songs have been featured on shows such as Love Island, Strictly Come Dancing, and in live sets for BBC Radio 1. On reflection, Kima feels like she has had a similar journey to the Welsh football team, who, despite losing against England, captured the world in their 2nd ever World Cup since 1958. The Garden is set to launch in mid-December and will run for 4 weeks, showcasing UK music, design, fashion and food.
We are talking about objects.
The Horniman Museum in London has begun the process of returning looted Benin bronzes back to Nigeria. The museum, which is located in southeast London, houses a collection of 72 Nigerian artefacts that was stolen by British soldiers during a raid in Benin City in 1897. 6 of them were handed back to the Nigerian government in a long-awaited act of reparations.
I think it's symbolically very significant. The Horniman Museum was the first museum in Britain to acquire Benin bronzes when the officers and sailors of that punitive expedition came back in the spring of 1897. And it is also the first government-funded museum in the United Kingdom that is returning Benin bronzes.
These precious objects have great cultural significance, as many pieces were commissioned and used in rituals which honoured their ancestors and commemorated the accession of a new Oba, or a chief in their tribes.
One of the ways we've decided to go about it is to build a pavilion, a storage facility in Benin City, and we expect that within 12 months, the storage facility, the pavilion, will be ready.
Juliana Olayinka with the Diaspora Network News Wrap in London.
Nigeria's tech gurus are actively involved in the promotion of development on the global scale, using their skill, using their knowledge, and of course their creativity as well. Please check this out.
The pace of global technological development is significantly changing the world with highly multidisciplinary and accelerating progress. It has paved way for easier communication, smoother trade, increase in income generation, medical research, robotics, and many more. The emergence of new forms of skills and career paths is also visible. Virtual assistant, influencer, search engine optimization specialist, app developer, Uber driver, drone operator are some of the roles that did not exist about a decade ago. This and other breakthroughs have been seen globally, especially in Nigeria, prompting businesses, education, and economic opportunities to thrive. Notably, Nigeria make up a large share of a population whose roles in tech are making a huge impact on the world stage using their skill, knowledge, and creativity. And here are the statistics to back this up. Nigerian-born Professor Mani Aniebonam is a seasoned ICT professional, educator, and digital entrepreneur with over 25 years leadership experience in the information technology industry. He is a doctoral graduate of the George Washington University School of Engineering and Applied Sciences, Washington, D.C. Professor Aniebonam has for many years been associated at professorial positions with several research universities in the U.S. He is president and CEO of AfriHub Nigeria Limited. He's also founded the Nigeria Diaspora Alumni Network, a professional network that brings together Nigerians with experience in the diaspora and have returned to contribute to national development. Bumi Banjo is another achiever in the global tech industry. She was born in Canada to Nigerian parents from Ijebu, Ogun State in southwest Nigeria. She attended the Federal Government Academy Suleja, where she was a member of the inaugural class of Nigeria's secondary school program for gifted and talented pupils. Bumi attained a bachelor's degree in psychology in 2000 from the University of Toronto and an MBA in 2007 from the Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University in the US. Today, she is a tech leadership speaker and advisor and has in the last 2 decades helped leading organizations in North America, Asia, and Africa achieve formidable results through novel ideas and cut-through execution. In 2018, she founded a company, Covora Digital, a workforce that supports a wide range of technology and digital initiatives for clients and users around the world. Prior to this, Ms. Banjo led Google to equip job seekers and small businesses with digital skills by scaling the company's Growth Engine program to train 1 million people. It is no doubt that technology is driving global economic boom, and Nigerians both home and abroad are constantly doing the country proud, showcasing their craft and generating revenue through this medium.
Now, we zeroed in on a techie of Nigerian heritage who beat the odds of a fragile childhood in the UK to build a tech domain committed to empowering Nigerians at home and in the diaspora.
Adeshola Cole hails from Abeokuta in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria. She was born in Hackney, United Kingdom, and grew up in Birmingham, where she was fostered from the age of 2 to 11 because her parents had to work. She had a challenging childhood, and being the only black child at school did not make her growing up any easier.
I lived in Birmingham with foster parents from the age of 2 to 11. It was a village. It was very, very remote. And like I said, at that time, the only black person within that community and within the school. So you had to fit in, okay? You had to fit in. You had to just deal with it, you know, take each day as it comes. You know, I just remember many times getting abused for the way that I looked, whether it was my features or my skin color, or I had a little afro at the time. So all of that. But I got accustomed to it because I was there for over 5 years. You know, we're talking 9 years within that same environment. So it's just something that you get used to. I had a very close bond with my foster parents, who I used to call grandmother and grandfather. And in a way, I wasn't in touch with my Nigerian root. I like to call it a bittersweet moment. Bitter in the sense that, yes, I was the only black person in my school. So I was racially abused for my skin color and the way that I looked. So constantly having to fight for myself, defend myself, look after myself. And that's definitely helped me in the woman that I am today. I'm quite a strong character. I'm able to stick up for myself. I'm very focused. And that's definitely helped me a lot.
During her teenage years, her parents decided to take her to Nigeria for a better cultural orientation. Back home, she completed her secondary education at International Secondary School, Lagos, and went on to study literature in English at the Lagos State University, and that experience is part of what shaped the woman she is today. After graduation, she moved back to the UK, and like many others at the time, she did menial jobs before securing a role at a bank. After 10 years in the banking sector, discrimination and lack of opportunity for career progression prompted her to start a career in tech. In 2014, she gained information technology training in a well-established school in the UK, which birthed her passion for mentoring. In 2017, she started her own company, TriTech Consulting Limited, a London-based IT company committed to assisting individuals in the African community secure roles within the IT sector. And 5 years down the line, it has become one of the most sought-after tech training companies in the UK.
It's been a journey, okay? It's definitely been a journey, but I think it's a journey of passion, commitment, drive, and determination. I am someone that if I want to do something, I give 110%, and I don't stop till I get there. So I'm very, very grateful.
To date, Adeshola has helped over 1,000 candidates transition from IT roles such as business analysts, cybersecurity, change in project management, and her role in the sector hasn't gone unnoticed. In May this year, she won the Emerging CEO of the Year award, considered as one of the highest honors at the Leaders Without Borders Annual Business Summit and Global Honors in London. And in September, she was again honored with the African Legacy Prize by the African Achievers Awards in the UK. She has received several other outstanding awards and recognition globally. Adeshola is not slowing down in her bid to help the black community take center stage in the global tech space. She's happily married to Dele Aligbe, and they are blessed with 3 adorable children.
Coming up on Diaspora Network, our interview with Dr. Adeshola Cole on life as an award-winning tech guru. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the program. Now come with us as we meet this unique trailblazer.
I just had a passion for, all things tech. And that was when I also discovered my flair for mentorship. So that's when I began to mentor people. And then when people got jobs, I just found it really, really rewarding. And then that kind of propelled me to keep on doing what I'm doing.
And you've got impressive figures as well, 700 candidates transitioning into IT roles. What's the motivation behind that? And is there any specific demographic you look at when you choose?
Not necessarily in terms of demographic, but I think because I'm Nigerian, obviously the African community would definitely want to patronize me. in terms of that. But I think for me, the motivation is seeing somebody else's success. Especially when they have no confidence, they worry about their accent, they worry about their education, they worry about their background, and then next minute they're flying high with a career that they never imagined that they would have. That is a huge motivation for me.
And talk us through being young, being a woman, and being in tech, because obviously you were, I wouldn't call it a male-dominated field today.
Yes.
But I mean, those sorts of workshops, etc., you would find a lot of men there.
Yeah.
How did you negotiate that space?
When I started initially, yes, there was a lot of challenges because at that time it was a male-dominated industry. But like I always say, I feel like it's also been a huge advantage being a woman because you have women that look up to you. You have, teenagers and mothers looking up to you. And the men as well also look up to you as well. So for me, being a woman in tech has huge advantages. And you're also showcasing that if I can do it with a family, with children, then there's nothing stopping anybody from doing it.
Any challenges in terms of the infrastructure? For instance, are you doing anything back home? Can you replicate what you do here back home?
I think you can. Yes, you can, especially now post-COVID. People are more open-minded. People are able to embrace change. So I think that's definitely opened up a plethora of opportunities back home.
And did you see those opportunities in Dubai recently at the investment summit?
Absolutely, absolutely. It was amazing to network with people from different industries. And it was definitely an event that really brought out the best of the best in people.
What was your high point for you at that event?
I don't mean to sound selfish, but winning my award.
Oh, no. Okay.
Definitely that. And just meeting other like-minded people like myself, in particular, Nigerians who are doing so well in Dubai. It was very motivating to see.
Do you think anything was missing, for instance, when you worked through the room and you look at where we are with tech in Nigeria back home? What do you think? Do you think we had a good showing or a good representation? Did we take anything away from it?
I think there was a good representation. I think obviously, given the situation with Nigeria and Dubai at the moment, it did restrict a lot of people from coming. But I think the few of us that were there were able to put Nigeria at the forefront. So, yeah.
Do you see, what role do you see for tech, moving on in the next, let's say, 2-3 years?
Mind-blowing, innovative, sustainable, and tech is here to stay, and it's only going to get better. And with that, there's going to be more career opportunities. So this is the best time to get into tech.
A lot of people hear that and wonder, how do you start? So for instance, if somebody approaches you to say, I've been watching you and this is something I want to do, what sort of advice do you give them?
So I'm going to dispel the notion that you have to be techie, you have to be good with Excel, you have to be good with data. That is a no. The key thing that you need is experience. Having education and having a certificate is an added advantage. But when you go for an interview, the interviewer wants to know how and what you've done as opposed to how many certificates you have. So my advice to anybody would be get that experience, whether it's in project management, business analysis, data, cyber, whatever it is. If you're someone that is adamant, you love your certificates, that's not an issue, it's not a problem, but make sure you back it up with experience and the world is your oyster.
What about those that say tech is moving on so fast that by the time we've gotten one certification, something else, employers are asking for something different? How do you keep up?
That's the beauty of tech. That is the beauty of tech, okay? It's ever evolving. So you just have to get with the times. So even me, as an owner of a business, I cannot just stay in the same place. I'm constantly having to do my research. What is on par at the moment? What are the current trends in tech? And that is the beauty of tech. It's ever changing. So you just need to get with the times.
How did you start this business? Without telling us that we're going down the whole memory lane.
Yeah.
But, you see people who say, I run my business, and people are thinking, I would like to do that. So what were the hurdles? And
Yes, there were hurdles. As I always say, when I started the business, I didn't really have a plan per se that I want to be the best. I want to win many awards. I want to impact so many people. So just like everybody else that starts a business, I was very skeptical of how it would grow. I remember starting with just 2 candidates, for example.
When was that?
That was 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. And I felt, oh, wow, this is not really going very far. But word of mouth has definitely helped. And I think putting the customer at the heart of everything that you do. So my advice to anybody starting a business, especially in the African community, we always need to put the customer first. Customer service is of the essence. And yeah, that's it. Just take each day as it comes. What sets you apart from every other competitor that is doing the same thing is also important. So what is your USP?
And I mean, you're a Nigerian in the diaspora. You've worked in multiple continents. Yeah. What sort of role do you think people like yourself could play? Looking at what you do and seeing the scale at which is being operated on back home. What role is there for you?
Wow, we must continue to impact. We must continue to motivate, and we must continue to inspire especially the newer, younger generation back home. I am privileged to have 50% of my workforce back home in Nigeria.
Wow.
And every day I'm amazed with the level of knowledge that they have, the level of intelligence that they have. And I think for me, we must continue to support them as much as we can.
What's that like, managing 50% back home and the other 50 outside?
It's amazing because, again, tech, Zoom connects everyone. And they're, especially the ones back home, they're able to adapt to the culture. They're able to adapt to how we do things here in the UK. And they're doing exceedingly well.
Yeah. Looking at the trend now, lots of young intelligent techies back home are finding their way out of the country, Canada, the US, the UK. What kind of advice do you give people like that who think, well, I think, thank you, but it's working better on the other side? What do you think?
I guess that's the Japa movement, as they call it. You've got to do what you've got to do, okay? But also don't forget your roots. It's very important that even if you do decide to relocate to Canada, America, London, and so on, and hopefully you get that amazing job in tech, always give back. That's so find a way to contribute to the society in one way or the other.
And for business owners who are losing their techies, because a lot of people find that either their web units or their IT units are emptying out pretty quickly. As one who owns a business in this industry and you've run both sides, what's your advice to people like that?
Business owners back home definitely need to find a way to digitalize what they're doing. And, what supports are you giving your staff as well? So, making sure that you're giving them training. It's not just about getting them doing a job, a 9 to 5, and you're not giving them that support. So how are you supporting your team? How are you ensuring that you're giving back? How are you empowering them? So I think for me, just trying to digitalize what you're doing, providing more supports, and making sure that you're on par with current trends all over the world.
I spoke to one business owner who said the moment they're trained up, they're out the door. So what do you do? I don't know. It's a difficult one, isn't it?
It is. But you cannot be complacent.
Okay. All right. And then lastly, which of your achievements are you most proud of? Obviously, this is pretty recent. And you have a string of awards out there. What would you say was the one you got that you felt, wow, I like that?
Because I feel like all of the awards are significant to me in one way or another. But I would definitely say winning Woman of the Year for a second time is definitely something that I'm super proud of.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine or remember winning it the first time. So to win it a second time is just amazing. But like I said, every award is significant in one way or the other.
Finally, how would you like to be remembered? I know when I ask that question, people think, I'm so young. Why ask me that?
But just the little girl that had big dreams and wasn't afraid to go after her dreams.
Oh, fantastic. Succinct. Thank you. Thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you so
Hopefully,
much.
we see you around, and well done in your work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Indeed, Nigerians are making a name for themselves wherever they go and in whatever they do. And that's the show. You can watch other episodes on our website, channelstv.com. I'm Ijeoma Onyato. Let's do this again some other time.